Mother Nature offers our palate a new selection of food and flavors to savor. Here in the Simply Luxurious Kitchen, discover simple ways to dance effortlessly with each season and enjoy stepping into your kitchen, knowing no matter what you find at the market. Well-stocked epicerie, you can make a delicious meal in the middle of the work week or to share with family and friends on a weekend. Let's get started. Welcome to the Simply Luxurious Kitchen. Welcome to my kitchen. Today what we're going to be cooking is the classic or traditional French omelette. Now it's something that sounds kind of complicated because you say French and people get kind of hesitant to step into it, but this is the beautiful part about it. All you need are eggs, butter, and your herbs. And we're going to talk about what herbs to use, and that's it. You don't need any heavy cream, you don't need milk, you don't need all those fillings if you don't want all the fillings. What I hope you walk away with today is realizing, oh my gosh, I have these in my epicerie, I have these in my garden. I'm gonna have a French omelet today. And with 2 eggs, that's all you need for one person. It's so simple. So let's get started. What I've done is I have a non-stick skillet or a seasoned skillet so that my eggs will easily be able to flip and turn and be maneuvered however I need them to be maneuvered. And while this is heating up, I'm turning this to a low heat. You actually do not want your skillet that hot for omelets. I have it about a 3-4. You don't want, when you put the butter in here in a second, you don't want that butter to sizzle. You actually just want it to slowly melt, and you'll see why here in a minute. But while we're waiting for that to heat up, if you do have a cast iron pan and not a non-stick pan, I love working with cast iron. Now that I have one, I use it all the time, is you want to make sure it's seasoned. And recently I asked someone when I was at a class, I said, okay, so tell me, how do you season your cast iron and how often should I do it? And it's actually very simple. All you do is with your cast iron on a stove is you put it in vegetable oil. I put it in vegetable oil. You could put canola oil in. You want an oil that can withstand hot heat, and you just heat it up to a hot heat until it's starting to simmer. You can see the oil is starting to pop. Turn it off, remove it, discard the oil, and then wipe it off with a paper towel is what I use. Clean it up. Don't clean it with soap and water. Just wipe it off because you can kind of see the shine there. That's a seasoned pan. And I asked her, and then it's ready to cook. And you'll find that things just pop right off without any problem whatsoever. And then I asked her, I said, so how often do you do it? And she said, I do it every time. And I said, okay, I'm not going to do it every time, but I definitely do it often when I notice my pan isn't performing the way that I want it to. So it really depends on you as the cook in the kitchen. So that's how you season your cast iron. All right, so the pan is about heated up. Let's talk through our eggs and our ingredients here. So many of them. There's only 3 ingredients basically. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a tablespoon of unsalted butter per egg, and we're gonna use 2 eggs. I have some farm fresh eggs here that I picked up at the market, and if you can get the larger the better, that's fantastic. So 2 eggs, fresh eggs, the fresher the better, but for flavor and just for, oh my gosh, looks is gonna look a lot more yellow, which is beautiful to look at. But farm fresh eggs are the best, but get as fresh as you possibly can. And then I'm gonna have 2 tablespoons, so a tablespoon per egg. I'm gonna put those in the pan here in a second. It's almost ready. And then my herbs, what we have for the herbs. Okay, you can put a lot of different things in your omelet, but what I would do is, I love dill, but dill is not the traditional French fine herb. The traditional French fine herbs, there's 4 of them. You have parsley, you have chives, so chives here. I have my flat leaf parsley here. So you have chives, you have parsley, you have tarragon, which I have here, and then you have chevril. And chevril is basically what many people say French parsley. Although it's not exactly the same thing, but it does come from the same family. It's native to Europe. It was planted by the Romans hundreds and hundreds of years ago throughout Europe, and so it is now native to Europe. All right, I don't have chevril. Chevril is very hard to find in the States. So since chevril has a very subtle licorice flavor, I'm just gonna make sure I have my tarragon, I'm gonna have my flat leaf parsley, my chives, and I do like a little dill, but that's up to you. We're gonna add those at the end though, because they are the fine herbs. Let's get this started though. So my 2 eggs, I love to use the liquid measuring cups because it makes it so much easier to cook with. Okay. Whisk those up. And you want it to, you're whisking it just to blend it all together so it's one solid yellow, beautiful color. And the easiest way to test that is just to run it. If it's a steady stream from your spatula, just like that, then it's ready. And I always just have to whip it a little bit more just because it's so much fun. It feels so good and it's easy, quick and easy. All right, so now it's ready. And I wait to season this. We have salt. We want our coarse salt. We want our pepper ready to go. But I actually wait until it's in the pan to season it, and then I do it multiple times. All right, so we need to melt the butter. Ooh, nice. So it's not sizzling, that's perfect. It's just melting. Woo! The fact that it's going that slow is very good. That's what we want. I'm actually gonna get a smaller spatula. I like this spatula better. Just make sure it covers the entire pan. A little bit on the corners too. Okay, it's ready. So now, just pour it right in the middle. It'll go wherever, basically, but just fill up the pan. Nice and slow and steady. Oh, yeah. Look at that, look at that. Put that out of the way. Make sure this is at my 3/4. This is where I'm gonna season it first. So coarse sea salt, pepper, and you just have to go slow with this omelet. Now what I'm doing here, I'm actually mixing it. I'm not just looking at it. You want to kind of see if it's gonna stick or not. Ooh, mine's coming right off. Look at that. Oh my gosh. And keep stirring. And it's gonna start getting hard on the bottom, but you don't want to turn it brown on the bottom. A traditional French omelet doesn't get brown. It stays the brilliant yellow. That's why you want the heat at a very low heat. And I just start mixing it around. A little bit more salt, not a lot. Okay, because it's going to be a little bit runny in the middle before you flip it. Oh yeah, and I would just go around the edges, make sure everything's looking good to flip when you're ready. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, it's like I can turn it like a pizza. Yeah. Okay, don't play with your food. Yes, play with your food. This is fun. It should be fun. All right, and it's almost ready. The low heat is the key here. Okay. Do is we're just going to roll it inch by inch, literally about an inch by an inch. So one roll here. Oh, got a little too brown, but not much. Another roll, and then there. Oh yeah. There we go. Look at that. Oh yeah. Beautiful. Yum. Now this is another little trick I like to do. Take out just a smidge of unsalted butter, and I rub it over the top when it's still warm. Just to add a little extra butter and finish, and because I'm going to turn this off, take this off the heat, get my plate ready, because now I want it, look at that. Oh yeah, beautiful. That's just 2 eggs whipped up. Isn't that amazing? So we're going to add our chives. And I have already chopped them up here. Sprinkle them over the top, just like that. And again, these are chives, tarragon, and parsley. If you have chevril, please add chevril. And and then a little bit of dill. There we go. Oh yeah, beautiful. So there's our French omelet. We're not done yet. What I like to add to this is a fresh croissant from a local bakery. And I've been heating that up in the oven as I've been cooking that. So let's get that out. Now this is huckleberry jam. You don't have to serve your croissant with jam, but I do like huckleberry jam. Is not extremely sweet, and my mom made that, so I have to give credit to Mom. Thanks, Mom. And then you have your croissant. But one more thing. Orange juice. Freshly squeezed orange juice. Now, this reminds me of Paris. This summer, I think it was my second day in the city, and I was just walking around, looking up at the buildings and seeing a blue sky. And I wanted breakfast, and I was just wanting something light and simple. And I sat out on one of the many cafes overlooking one of the streets in the Montmartre area. And I had my croissant and I had my orange juice. And I would even add a hot cup of tea to this as well. And you know, the extra addition of a French omelette would have been a wonderful addition. I love eggs and croissants and tea. And I was reading and relaxing and just taking it all in. And I was back in Paris after it was after 5 years that I had last been there. And so this brings back good memories. But as you can see, a French omelette doesn't take that much time. And what I'd love to do now is give you a tour through Paris to take you to the city that I enjoyed this summer. A wonderful visit, and I cannot wait to return. You may have already seen, in the video that I went to the cooking store, E.Dehillerin, and it is a destination to go to, even if you don't pick up anything for your kitchen. What I found fascinating about that store is you walk in, and as you see, it's a corner shop, and you walk in, and the aisles go along the street sides, right? But then everything behind is the storage, is the business. You don't go there. So there's really only 2 aisles to shop in, and it's amazing how much stuff they have in there for so small a space. You can also, as you saw in the video, go down the basement and see more of the storage and all the different copper pans that they have. What I found very interesting is I went in June, right when it opened in the middle of the work week, and I had the place to myself. And I really didn't believe it. and I honestly probably didn't appreciate it until I went back in the afternoon in July, and it was busy because it's awesome. Anyway, if you have a chance to go, I highly recommend it. There's another place to go. There's so many great places for kitchen supplies is A. Simon, which I shared in the video as well. So for great, where I got a lot of my mixing bowls, I picked those up there, and all those little details that just finish the kitchen. All right, I made some tea while you guys are watching the video, so we're gonna have some black tea and enjoy our breakfast. I think what I love most about this omelet, and I made it a bunch of different ways, so I was trying to figure out exactly what makes the best type of omelet. And I made it with cream and I made it with milk. And I found that those actually take away the natural flavor of the eggs, and that's what you want to taste. And as long as you season it throughout, as long as you finish it with herbs, and you start it with the butter and finish it with a little bit of butter, all those natural flavors come out. And that's all it is, 2 eggs, herbs, and butter, and a little bit of salt and pepper. That's it. The key also that I found for me is that I allow the top to be a little bit runny, to not be completely solid. And I like that texture in the middle because you have the finished product on the outside, but on the inside is almost as though you have melted cheese in there, and it's a great texture differentiation as you take that bite. And then when you pair it with the buttery croissant, I don't know, you can't get much better than that. I hope you enjoy your day. Enjoy your food and enjoy stepping into your kitchen.